Extraction 2 is finally here and it did not disappoint at all. This movie was a huge blast. This movie was violent. When I mean it was violent, it was violent. There were things that I didn't think this movie could have done because the first Extraction, it was very violent and it was very interesting how they used the environment, they used the cars, they used everything. But this one, they took it to a next level because the things that Tyler has to go through, it was just incredible. And then we get an action sequence that was like 21 minutes long, and it was just so brutal, but it was just so much fun to watch. Like Chris Hemsworth's character as Tyler, he's back after surviving the last mission that he had saw. And we saw him survive from Extraction 1, and he's here and he took some mission to go on ahead and save his sister-in-law and his niece and nephew ordered by his ex-wife. So now he's in like this frozen prison trying to rescue his sister-in-law, and then there we just see one of the best parts of this movie because we get this 21-minute action sequence and we see Chris Hemsworth like just doing this big brawl with these whole bunch of prisoners. This man get hit by a brick. This man gets set on fire. And while he's on fire, he's still whooping people's ass left and right. Like this man wasn't stopping at all. This man got a police shield and he just started whamming people. And this whole time I'm just like, bro, you ain't tired? You're not tired? This is exhausting, especially to like the cold atmosphere, which was a very nice touch. And I really liked it because it just makes the scene more brutal, especially during like the prison where it's like dark, gritty, and grounded. And it feels like it's rough. Like, I'm like, wow. And I don't know, I really like action movies that has to deal with snow or the cold because it's just something that it just makes the movie more intense to me. Because while Tyler is in prison and he's dealing with a prison brawl, like a riot, it was just really incredible. And it just pretty much brings out like the brutality of it because you already know it's like very, very tough to fight in the cold, especially the fact that you have multiple people coming at you. On top of that, you have to protect a lady, and then you having like multiple things like throwing at just coming at you all at once is just really, really like intense. And the one thing that I really love about extraction movies, and I wish they will continue ongoing because this movie is going to be a trilogy, because how this movie ends is going to be a trilogy. So like it's just the camera works because it makes you feel like you're part of the ride. Like it makes you feel like you're part of the action, like you're actually there in the scene, or it just makes you feel like you're part of a universal ride where you're just watching all of this chaos happening. And that's just something that I really like because with extractions, it makes you feel like you're a part of the movie. And even with the good choreograph, the violence, the intensity, the extreme, and everything else, but this movie is an action movie and it does have a generic story. The story is very generic, but you don't really worry about it that much because of the action and because of the characters as well. Because, we see Tyler and we see the lady from the first movie, and apparently she brought her brother. And so you do care for these characters. And the one thing I have to say is that nephew, that little boy was so annoying and so stupid. I just wanted him to die, but he didn't. And he caused a lot of problems. And it was just to the point where it's just like, can we get the first kid back? Like, can we get him back? Because I liked him better because this one was very difficult. But other than that, the story of Tyler gets more explored here, but it feels very lackluster because even though he meets his ex-wife and he does get the closure of forgiving himself for leaving his son while his son is dying, like it still felt very lackluster. It felt like they could have put more details or more into that storyline or like his relationship with his ex-wife and everything else or his son. because it just felt like throughout this whole movie for like an hour and 30 minutes of it, like we just focus on him doing a rescue mission. But then you want to go in and dive in on that storyline, and it's just like, really? And the villains of the story, it really match how intense Extraction is. And it was actually at the same level. This villain was a lot better than the first one. And I really did like how he was on a mission to make sure that he will destroy Tyler no matter what. It didn't matter where Tyler was. He didn't care if there was innocent people. This man wanted to hunt down him because Tyler killed his brother. Now we get other appearances as well as Idris Elba, his character, because he's working with someone who wants Tyler to do certain jobs and certain missions. So he's just there giving out, like, being the messenger, saying like, hey, if you do this job, you know, you get out of jail. Like, hey, if you do this job, you get this and that. But overall, this movie was very fantastic. This movie was a good time. You guys should watch it. It's on Netflix. It should be in the movie theaters because just how like great this movie was, like the productions, the look, the camera work, the sounds. This movie would have worked better if it was in a movie theater. But other than that, it's on Netflix. So if you guys have a Netflix account, or you know someone who has a Netflix account, go ahead and watch it. You'll have fun. This movie is 2 hours and something minutes. So enjoy yourself. But let me know down in the comment section if you guys already saw this movie, or you guys planning on watching this movie, or let me know down in the comment section how do you guys feel about this movie. But other than that, if you like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.